Alright, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. On earlier today because I got shit I gotta do later. Then I'm going to sleep. Work like a dog today, man. But hey, definitely appreciate everybody for showing love to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And yeah, man. But let's talk, man. Let's talk. Um, and I was seeing some. Let me hop up in the chat on my phone since my computer it crashed yesterday when I hopped on Google Chrome. I had to redo it, and all that. So I had to figure that out ever since I updated it. But yeah, let's talk about Premier Boxing Champions doing away with the WBO belt. They don't recognize it no more. And 1 second. They supposedly don't recognize it no more. I seen Mike Coppinger speak on it on Twitter, so let me pull that up. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find out where I seen it at. Okay. He says that during a PBC on Fox segment with Deontay and Andy Ruiz, Ladder describes that Ladder, which is Andy Ruiz, described as the IBF WBA champion in the graphic. No mention of his WBO title in the organization. PBC is no longer recognized. Helps explain the omission of Terence Crawford amongst welterweights. And in this tweet, it's the video of that interview. I didn't pick up on it. I was at the movie theaters catching it. So pretty much PBC is no longer recognizing the WBO title on their platform. So I don't know who idea that was. But shout out to Emmanuel Figueroa. I see you. 54 Trail Swan. Salute. He says, so Triple G and Canelo were actually undisputed at 160. Think 2009, they recognized they made the WBO mandatory to be undisputed. Before that, you just need the WBA, IBF, and WBC. You just need 3 belts. I remember when Michael Moore won the WBO at light heavyweight, and they really, that really wasn't that they didn't consider the WBO a title. They looked at the WBO then. It was like late 80s, 90s, something like that, mid 80s, late 80s, 90s. They looked at the WBO as like how you see the IBO. All right, Lennox Lewis was undisputed, but he didn't have the WBO. But that was like 2000 something. So it was either 2006 or 2009. The WBO became mandatory to be undisputed. Now I was trying to explain this to people last year, but they didn't want to hear. C-Dub, salute. That's your new channel, bro, or is that another C-Dub? Lawrence Williams, they recognized Lippy, yes, with that off-brand WBO belt he won Saturday. Exactly. I didn't get that. That was the first thing somebody brought up. A salute with Lawrence Williams. Y'all go subscribe to Lawrence Williams' channel. Real hardcore shit. John Black Johnny, salute. Cool man said, man. And then we also gonna talk about Leo Santa Cruz ducking Gary Russell and wanting to fight Tank. And I'm gonna mix in a little bit of that Valdez and Shakir Stevenson situation. I'm gonna talk about that kind of generalize the topic though, man. But let me know if my sound fuck up or something in the chat because I ain't got my headphones on. But it is what it is. It's always an excuse. Then, all I want to know is, did Errol Spence not get that memo? Dream Chaser, what's going on? Did Errol Spence not get that memo? So I just want, like, this is the first thing that came to my mind, right? The Lippy S thing came to my mind because Will on Twitter brought it up. But also what came to my mind after that was like, okay, so does Deontay Wilder want all the belts? Does Errol Spence want all the belts? Or is this a way for Errol Spence to finesse his way out? Curtis Anderson said Thomas Hearns was the first WBO champion. What's up, Curtis Sugar? I see you. So my whole thing is, and I look here, I'm gonna get into the WBO and how I feel about the WBO for sure. And I don't disagree with this, but it's a convenient time to pull it because an inconvenient time to pull it because Wilder says he want all the belts. He said he want all the belts. So is on PBC is undisputed subjective to what PBC Al Heyman and his fighters think it is? Or is it just, I don't know. Because when PBC was first started, there were talks that they were going to have their own championship belts. And for some reason, that shit was squashed. That dog trying to hump him out. That dog trying to let my dog hit it. I don't know if y'all can hear it. But she ran over to the side. My dog outside because I just mopped the floor. She ran over to the side of my house, and his dog in heat, and she ran over here. He just got her ass, so she trying to throw the pussy at me like it's a privilege. So that shit crazy, man. Yeah, my dog sitting here whining and shit. You don't bring no German Shepherd, Labrador pit puppies over here. Fuck that. My dad having some more puppies. I can't have. Fuck that. My cousin gonna sell them. So are they saying this to lower Bud's value because of the relationship with the WBO? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, the WBO got multiple relationships, that's equally as strong almost. Bob Arum and Top Rank, and they got a relationship with Oscar De La Hoya. Look at the WBO champions. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I will get to that. My whole thing is this. It seemed like it's convenient to duck Bud. But really, does one fighter move that much weight for an entire franchise? For an entire management company? That's what PBC is. It's not a promoter. It's a management company. It's like MTK Global. So at the end of the day, and I'll get to the tank stuff. Shout out to Angel. To the end of the day, email me, bro, and I'm gonna plug you in with that job information, man, if you want it. So I don't want to see no PBC fighters ranked in the WBO. All of them, because when you get ranked inside of a top 15, you have to petition usually to get ranked inside of a sanctioned belt body. You have to petition. You have to put an application up usually, or write in, I want to be ranked. When you eligible to be ranked in the top 15 or be ranked in the WBO, WBA, IBF, WBC, you got to send an application in and say you want to be ranked. You want to be ranked. But it's so many places that I can start on this topic, and it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult because, I mean, you think about Bud, right? But you could be like, okay, Wilder say you want to be undisputed, so are you undisputed by PBC terms because you only want the IBF, WBC, and the WBA title? Are you undisputed pre-WBO era, which is either 2009 or 2006? I can't remember. You're like, okay, I'm undisputed, is what I believe it is, but on record you're not. But you can say, I got the same 3 belts that Lennox Lewis had. What's the difference? So it's a lot to process. Individually, you have to go to each fighter, or at least 2 fighters, and Errol Spence, are you even interested in Terence Crawford belt? Well, Al said we ain't fighting for the WBO no more. So Crawford got to get another belt. Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't that be some shit if that came out of his mouth? Now, he's been saying Crawford name himself. He said a few times at the Porter press conference, and I saluted him for that. But if they going that far, not for him to fight Terence Crawford, it speaks for itself. And I'm not saying that's the case, but if they doing this, to avoid Terence Crawford, this is the greatest freeze out I've ever seen in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, man. I ain't got time for that shit, man. Get out of here. I ain't tolerating that. Get out of here. Ain't nobody really talking about him. Get out of here. All right? This is the greatest freeze. I have never seen no shit like this before. Will, salute. Just talking about him. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. I'm not saying that's what it. If this is, we not recognizing WBO because of Terence Crawford, like this. I mean, I remember I had Southside Boxing 601. I was either on his shit or he was on my shit. Salute to him. Y'all go subscribe to him, man. That's a good guy, man. And we sitting here and we was either on his shit or my shit. And he was talking like, cause we used to do football every week, but then we would kind of link up and do boxing and shit. And I think I was on his page. He was like, what has Errol Spence done? Has he killed somebody? Salute. He said the way they ducking Errol Spence, you would believe he would have killed somebody. He was jokingly saying it, but like it was to the question where I was talking to a couple of the brothers from Three Kings. We was on the chat, Ray Zone Salute. We was on the chat. We was on like chat together talking. This like last year, like last summer, it was me, Prodigy, Bo, and it was Big Cool from Colossal Sports TV. I'm gonna drop his government on here. And I was saying, like, is Earl Spence more feared than Mike Tyson was? And, Bo was like, oh, difference is that, Don King was paying the people way above market value to fight Mike Tyson. Earl Spence really ain't that type of money in him because Don King knew he would get that money. It's Mike Tyson's Earl Spence. So he nipped that in the bud, and it made pure sense. But real talk, and I just want to say this, man. If they start recognizing the whole belt, to avoid Terrence Crawford, like, come on, man. Now we got to start asking, is Terrence Crawford one of the biggest boxing boogeymans of this era coming up, or this new decade going into 2020? Because they say it takes Terrence Bud Crawford, because they could have said this a long time about the WBO. Because, and my proof is this, Sweet Science Sports TV, salute. Y'all go subscribe to this channel. Got a good channel. Okay, I'm going to prove my point right here. Because I said this about the WBO. And I had this question on my Facebook page. It's still the boxing clinic on there because they won't let me change it. But I had this question on my Facebook page last year, and I asked people, I said, should you only need 3 belts to be undisputed? Oh, you gotta have the WBO. But a lot of people don't know the history behind it. Like either 2006 or 9, I think it was 2006, they made the WBO requirement to be undisputed. It used to be only need the other 3, IBF, WBC, WB, Super WBA title now. But let's start off at shit for the hell of it. Let's start off at trying to see. Let's start off with bantamweight. All right, Zaloni Tite is the WBO title weight holder there. That's 118 pounds. That's Frank Warren, and that's the ESPN affiliate. Now BT Sports is always been, I think, owned by ESPN. So check that out. So that's ESPN. And Manuel Navarrete, that's ESPN Top Rank. Hold on. Okay, we got something else in there. I'm gonna say that tweet. Okay, we got Navarrete, he Top Rank. Okay. Oscar Valdez, which could be Joet Gonzalez versus Keir Stevenson for that vacant belt. I'll get to that later on the stream. That's Top Rank. Okay. Jamil Herring, Top Rank, former Al Heyman guy, but he was Top Rank now. That's at super featherweight. Lightweight is Vasily Lomachenko, Top Rank. Reese Hooker is with the Zone. Okay. Top Rank tried to get that belt back with Cicero. They trying to get it back this weekend with Ramirez. I do that prediction video. I'm trying to get on it today. Terrence Crawford, 47, is Top Rank, ESPN. Jaime Munguia is the Zone, Oscar De La Hoya for junior middleweight. Demetrius Andrade is the Zone, Eddie Hearn, middleweight. Super middleweight is Billy Joe Saunders, another ESPN BT Sports Frank Warren Top Rank affiliate. 75 is Sergey Kovalev, who got a deal with ESPN affiliate through Main Events and Top Rank. Cruiserweight, don't nobody really fucking care. And Andy Ruiz used to be AJ that hold that belt. So Trick, what's going on? So, I mean, how many PBC fighters you seen hold the WBO belt other than that we recognize other than Andy Ruiz? Not one. All of them is either affiliated with Oscar De La Hoya with the Zone through Eddie Hearn or something like that, or they affiliated with ESPN some type of way with BT Sports Frank Warren, which is the same thing as ESPN Top Rank Bob Arum. So right there, I knew that shit before this news even, so it makes sense. It makes sense. And also Mike Copperton tweeted out, and I got this tweet on my Detroit Twitter page. I don't know why. He says 12 hours ago, he says, because of what I've been told, Heyman believes the WBO is heavily biased towards Frank Warren and Top Rank. So he said that, half a day ago. So I agree. I said this last year. The WBO need to be abolished. And PBC is taking it in their own hand. It needs to be gone. Without the WBO, Top Rank got to play with everybody else. I've been saying this for the last 10 years, bro, at least. Since 2009, you can see a heavy bias. In 2009, we had more players in the game. Gary Shaw, before he got absorbed by Rock Nation, that's what happened to Gary Shaw. Goosen, Joe Goosen brother, promotions, he was a player. You still have Frank Eddie out there. You had Al Heyman working right around that time. Still Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy. You had Top Rank. You had Kathy Duva that was doing fights on NBC around that time. So you had a lot of different players. Lou DiBella might have been running HBO sometime in the 2000s. I can't really remember. But you still had a lot of people. You had Samson Boxing still hanging around there. You had a lot of just, players. But now really boxing is really like downsized. From all those guys I named, who around here really doing work still? Top Rank, Frank, Eddie, they've been along a long time. Al still out here working. Richard Schaefer just came back. He was part of Golden Boy. Golden Boy hanging on by the chin and they chin, in my opinion. Eddie Hearn barely hanging on. So, I mean, really, who really out here still working? Lou DiBella, he worked with Top Rank, PBC, trying to stay alive. But Gary Shaw gone. Main events really ain't nothing. They a subsidiary of Top Rank now. Frank Warren a subsidiary of Top Rank now. So everybody then partnered up. Rock Nation took Gary Shaw. They really partner up with the Zone or whoever can keep them afloat in boxing. They don't care about boxing. Ain't too many new players in the game. Richard Schaefer probably the newest player, but he been here before. He been with Top Rank. So, like I said, I agree. I ain't even knocking it. I'm not even knocking it. I've been saying that, man. So they can make their own PBC Hall of Fame and they can make it subjective to what they want to make it. If all the fighters on one side and they believe what Al's saying, we just say, we get 3 belts, fuck the WO. We ain't paying no sanctioning belt bodies. We ain't paying no sanctioning fees. We ain't fucking with them. We get the IBF, WBC, Super W. We consider that undisputed. I'm with it. Now, is it casualty in war here? Yeah, Bud got the belt. It is what it is, bro. Get another. You say it's a whole lot of ducking going on across the board on all sides. But I agree. But I understand it because this is some shit I said almost a decade ago. This is some shit I said recently last year. I said that. So I understand they stance on it. We just went through the champions. Now if it can be proven that they ducking Bud because of the WBO top, then that's one of the greatest ducks I've ever seen. To finally, it's rather convenient. It's rather convenient, right? Let's just take a minute, man. Let's take a minute. Let me sip something, man. It's rather convenient, man, that all of a sudden they disown the WBO title when Bud got it. Now I don't even think Bud and Spence is a colossal fight, casually wise, to even do that shit. If Errol Spence beat up Sean Porter, he can get Pacquiao, beat up Danny, move up, get 3 belts at Junior Mill. I think everybody would think, the majority of people would think, oh, he would have beat Bud. Look what he did to J-Rock, or look what he did to Lubin. Look what he did to Hurd. Or if he had to fight Jamil, look what he did to Jamil, he beat him. Or if he go up and somehow beat Canelo, look what he did to Canelo. I think we all would say, well, most of us, he probably would have fucked Bud up anyway. I mean, he in a perfect position right now. Bud is in the position of being powerless. Sean, what's going on? I heard Billy Hull ready to leave Frank. We'll see. It don't really matter who he gonna fight. William Sebastian, I don't see what the problem with fighting Gary Russell with. Tank will whoop that ass just as bad, if not worse. There's got to be some type of problem with Al and Gary. Been feeding Mexicans to Tank. Yep. That's all Floyd doing, but we'll get to that in a minute. Earl want to age Bud out when fighting him and give full credit for the win. Remember Floyd, his boss, so Floyd get credit for Canelo win. At the same time, like I don't even think age should be a problem. To be honest, because if they wanted to age him out, then why don't send some of your biggest punchers over there, your toughest fighters? Send Yugis over there. He just fought for a title. Send Lippiets over there, a guy that can crack. He already beat John Molina. Send your biggest punchers you can find over. Send your toughest guys over there. Sean Porter lose. Offer Sean Porter over there. Who else you got to fight? You can really make it a murderous row of fighters and slow Bud down. But by letting him fight nobody, he just staying sharp. You see what I'm saying? By him fighting nobody, it ain't like if Lippiets fight Bud, he got a big puncher's chance. He can land on Bud and knock him out then. But at the same time, if they was trying to age Bud out, they would be sending like some of they second, third tier, fourth, fifth tier welterweights over there. They'd be sending Yugis. They'd be sending Lippiets. They would have sent the Figueroa. They would have sent Danny Garcia after he got softened up. aging out, Errol Spence said he got 1 more year at the division. So, I mean, 1 more year ain't going to change if the Bud don't drink or he don't abuse his body. He stay active. Now, if he was going around fighting a murderers row of fighters and they was offering him all the tough fights he can get and they will soften him up and I'd be okay, man, you know, they soften him up. Now I see what PBC trying. They not even willing to do that. So I don't even think it's an age out thing in my opinion. Because Errol Spence been at, 54, came down, made a welterweight. So he been around welterweight for almost his entire career. He came down. So really when somebody suppress their body when you suppress something, especially weight for so long, as you get older, your bone density, you start getting your grown man strength, your grown man bone density. And when you keep draining your body of vitamins and water, once you drain your water and cut weight, where does the water come from? Once the water gone out your legs, your feet, your thighs, your hips, your ass, your stomach, your torso, your chest, your arms, your shoulders, traps, back, lower back, guess what? Then it start draining from the last place it should be. Nothing should be draining from your fucking brain. Your brain sits in water. And now you drain the body out of water from the brain. Now it speeds up the aging process. Now you speed up the aging process. All of a sudden you go to 54. All of a sudden you can't even make 54 after a year there or a few fights there. Now all of a sudden you at 60. Look at Canelo. Look at Canelo. 55, 54, 60. Now he want to jump up to 75 because he been draining his body and denying his body the nutrition and the water. He on shaky legs. He about to get, he about to go. To be quite frankly, knee injuries, all that shit. He about to go. Somebody with enough power hit Canelo on the chin at the right time. He gone. He been draining his body too long. They were trying to force him to be a welterweight. He was always a natural 160 pounder since he became a grown man, 21, 22, 23 years old. I learned that from Naseem Richardson and some of the old heads that just be around the sport. You can't do that, man. With it being so hard, as fans should write these sanctioning bodies to make it where we only need 3 belts. Then you got to condense. Then you gotta have, like I said, with Gary Shaw got cooped in. He got scooped up by Rock Nation. They absorbed him. So then you're gonna have the WBO and the WBA combined together, or the IBF and the WBC combined together. You got to have these sanction belt bodies combined together, and then they might say we still want, we want 6% instead of 3%, because now it's 2 belts in one. So you taking somebody's check away. But it's up to boxing to take a stand like Al Heyman did here. Like fuck them, take a stand. Don't recognize it. Take some money out their pocket. We don't want that belt. It may be casualties in there, fighters we like. Terrence Crawford. I don't have a problem with Jaime. I think he can get better. Andre, I like the way he fought. I was a big fan in the beginning before the bullshit. Some fighters up there that I like to watch fight. That might hold the WBO, but if they not recognizing, so be it. You know what I'm saying? If boxing if PBC gonna try to take a step forward for boxing, let's do it. I hate that Bud got to be in the middle of it, but hey, charge it to the game, bro. Charge it to the game. Koolman said, I asked him, were they killing it with the WBO because of a bad relationship with them? Yep, that's exactly what I figured out. I said that a year ago. I've been saying that, but yeah. If Horn still had a belt, Spence would be fighting him this year, though. Could be. If they're not recognizing, maybe not. Donald Austin, he says Heyman is the GOAT. I mean, this is the move they should make. They should have been making moves like this. This should be like, how can I say it? This should be. This should have been done a long time ago, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, when I say the tip of the iceberg, I really mean the tip. This is just the tip of the iceberg, bro. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is the tip. Like, a lot of shit should change. Oh, we ain't recognized that sanction belt body. I'm with it. Well, we ain't recognizing them. I'm with it. They should do a lot of changes. They should make a sanctioning belt body reform. Your belt should have to be sanctioned. Your belt should have to be sanctioned in the United States. I mean, it should have to be stationed in the not South America. The importance of that is because now they're in our jurisdiction. Now they can't get away with the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They can't get away with the bullshit no more. That's a huge step. Now y'all making all this money. Now Y'all should provide healthcare coverage. It's a lot of stuff that Al Hammond can take this shit to the next level. I see him really taking a step towards Premier Boxing Champion belts. I do. Flamo24. He said, as long as Bud got the WBO, PBC don't want no part. Yeah, and that's inconvenient. Mark Blake, salute, man. And I understand it may seem like terrible timing, and I'm gonna cook on that. Karate body, salute. Ryan Robertson, how do you feel about America? How you feel America having to having their own sanction belt body? They do. The IBF. Matter of fact, they got two: the IBF station in Jersey and the IBO station in Florida. And I've said this before. I'm gonna think this year they should recognize those two belts as the American belts. I said it somewhere in the archives on my videos this year, not too long ago. I said that they should recognize the IBO as a major belt in America and the IBF and start the sanction the belt body reform with those two belts. One in Jersey and I think one in Florida, in Tampa or somewhere like that. The IBO, IBF in Jersey. Start with the reform right there. You know, bring in rich boxing fans, Magic Johnson, Warren Buffett. Bring in a lot of these guys that got money and to show these sanction belt bodies how to rebuild, how to provide health care, how to still make money, and how to provide back to this community. Worst case scenario, these sanction belt bodies, other than probably the IBF and IBO, and I don't know, these motherfuckers in South America, Brazil, one guy, the WBA, Gilberto Ramirez, whoever he is, the president, he moved the whole sanction belt body to somewhere in South America because his daughter was going to college there. Like, really? You notice that those WBA, WBC, and WBO, ain't none of them sanctioned in America? And why is the IBF so strict on their guidelines? Because they in America, they can be sued. You know? They can be sued. So if they start sanctioning belt body reform, start that with that. If that makes any sense, start that with that. And build with them too. And I hate that Bud got to be a casualty, but like I said, I'm 100. This ain't nothing I just said, oh, it's a good idea, and I'm closet Al Haymon fan, but I've been saying they should have been doing this. Because I just listed all the champions off, man. All of them is not with Top Rank that I read. It's either Frank Warren, that's ESPN, BT Sports is ESPN, Frank Warren, Top Rank affiliate. Emmanuel Nervetes, 122, Top Rank, ESPN, Zafner Boxing affiliate. 126, Oscar Valdez, Top Rank affiliate. 130 pounds, Jamil Herring, former Al Haymon guy, but he's with Top Rank now. 135, Lomachenko. 140, DAZN, Oscar Eddie Hearn affiliate, Maurice Hooker. 147, Terrence Crawford, ESPN affiliate. 154, Jaime Maguia, Oscar De La Hoya affiliate, DAZN. Demetrius Andrade, DAZN, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn affiliate. 168, Billy Joe San, ESPN affiliate. Frank Warren, BT Sports, Top Rank, Bob, all the same thing. So, Sergey Kovalev, Top Rank, ESPN affiliate. The proof's in the pudding. The proof's in the pudding. Real shit. This should have been done. I've been saying this for years. Bud did something that's a huge anomaly at Top Rank. It's never. I've never really seen it. He got every belt on Top Rank. They ain't did that for a lot of Hispanic fighters. You know what? Because they scared those Hispanic fighters is gonna lose. They believe Bud Crawford was going to clean the division up, beat everybody after he beat Postal. They believed in him. And also, if he lost, they don't give a fuck about his black ass. They saw that time and time again. I hate Bud got to be left on the outside. But hey. They got to be casualties to war. And I like the guy. And I like the guy the way he fight. I like Bomac, man. He cool dude. Other than them trying to sue me for defamation of character. But hey, we move on. We men. But it got to be casualties in war. And I like Terrence Crawford. But this is a step forward for the sport of boxing, in my opinion. So, it is what it is. If, Coolman said, if the PBC uses only the American sanction bout, they would put the others out of business or bankrupt. Exactly, bro. Or they'd force them to move here. You know what I'm saying? PBC got some popular boxers, I would say. Deontay, Errol, Keith, Manny, Pacquiao, Santa Cruz, Gervonta, Floyd Mayweather, even if he got to come back and fight a few clown fights. And Floyd to say the IBO is for America. The IBF is for America. They can change the narrative. They got enough star power. Al Heyman, power. Fox, they owned by Walt Disney. Don't forget, that's a lot of power right there. Really, they squeezing Bob. They squeezing the fuck out of Bob. And Al Heyman's a fucking genius. I ain't never denied that before. And like I said before, people say, you hating on Al. I'm not hating on Al. I just want to see the best fights. But I see the vision now. He about to put Bob Arum in this old man chokehold. This is the difference between Harvard Law graduate Bob Arum and Harvard Business Law graduate Al Heyman. I'm rolling with the brother every time. Al Heyman is a fucking genius, man. If he complete what I think he can, he about to keep. And I hated Bud had to be on the wrong side of the street. Maybe they can buy Bud out of his contract. Maybe Al, you a brother like me, they sit down and meet over some hibachi rice and some chicken and steak, and they eat fucking few fucking sushi rolls, and they can figure this shit out, and it could be better for him. But and Shakur Stevenson will always get out his contract. James Prince got another, but they tried to sue you for real. Yeah, nigga, I got the paperwork, bro. I got the paperwork. I still got that. I just cleaned out my email. I say that motherfucker. Hell yeah, man. I talked to his lawyer, everything, bro. I don't hold it against him. Like, we figured it out. It was some nigga had hit me up on Facebook. He emailed me, and I hadn't been checking that shit. And I was working, and I so happened to get an email, and I looked. I'm gonna take a quick break real quick. And I said, man, what? So, I see him hit me up on Facebook. He said, I hit you. And we just, we chopped it up over a few days and we hashed it out. I'm like, for real? It's really that deep? And nigga Fred tried to get me sued again, man. That nigga Fred from Barbershop, I was like, man, he told me some shots. I don't want to even talk about it. I'm done. I pulled a bird, man. I said, I'm done and I'm finished. He was like, I just thought you want. Nah, I don't want to know that, man. I was like, man, you got it. I was like, I don't even want it. I was like, man, nigga, I said, man, before that paperwork, I would have. I ain't got time to be fighting no niggas in court, man. For real. Bud shouldn't have resigned. Y'all keep saying that, but y'all don't know the business, man. He didn't have a choice. What you think happened to Mikey Garcia? Honestly, what you think happened to Mikey Garcia? I'm gonna get to this before I close off the final topic and open up Q&A. What you think happened to Mikey Garcia? I'm tired of explaining this, but I understand we got new people coming in every day. Everybody don't listen every day. Let me give you the game, okay? Anthony Buckman, listen. Mikey Garcia got down to his last fight with Top Rank, you feel me? He got down to his last fight with Top Rank. They say you get down to your last fight. Okay, you can fight blah, but you got to sign this contract extension. If you don't sign the contract extension, we gonna sit you on the shelf or put you in a fight, and we gonna set you up to lose. That's what it boiled down to. I'm not saying they saying that verbatim, but that's what it is. And Mikey Garcia said, well, I'm not fighting Yurkus Gamboa. I want out my contract because at the end of the day, I just want to fight my last fight and move on. And Bob say no. Bob say no, you're going to fight for this amount of money versus Gamboa. So Mikey took it to court. He missed 12 months, whatever it was. And that's it. And you got to remember, Terrence Bud Crawford don't have the satisfaction of being with a top promoter. He was with Matador Sports. I don't know what he was making, 5, 10, 20,000 to fight. Probably not even that. Because Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice, back when he had his old crew, Vic Beebe and them, he would talk about Crawford when he had the dreads, and he would tell everybody this is probably one of the best fighters in boxing. He was saying this before Timothy Bradley found out about Terrence Bud Crawford. He was saying this one. He was telling us about him. He said, I would get to the undercards when I seen this guy. He's one of the best fighters in boxing. He just, I guess, or the lower level promoter. He was saying this years before Terrence Crawford made his debut, whatever it was, 14, 12, whatever it was. He was saying this way before then. He was speaking on this when Danny Garcia dropped that rap video. He was speaking on this man before he got shot in the head. Speaking on him. He been telling people that. So basically, Bud don't have money to lose. Because Top Rank was paying Matador Sports for Bud Crawford services. They had an agreement for Top Rank to pay them to have Bud. Same thing with Oscar Golden Boy, Zafner Boxing, All-Star Boxing, Golden Boy over Canelo, Zafner, De La Hoya worked together for Jaime Munguia. It's the same thing. So y'all just seeing like he could have walked out the door. Y'all just don't understand the business. You think Floyd Mayweather just wouldn't have walked out the door too? Real talk, you think same thing Mayweather had to do to get out the contract. But the guy that got Floyd out the contract said it was James Prince. He got Shakur Stevenson. So Shakur Stevenson got that. Okay, he did it before. So it ain't that easy when people say he shouldn't have signed. Either look here, he got kids, he got a wife. Like either sit out a year or two, or shit. If you black, if Mikey sat out a year or whatever, Terrence Crawford was probably gonna sit out 2 or 3 years. And at his age and his late start on the elite prize level fighting, do Crawford got a year to miss, 2 years to miss, 3 years to miss? He ain't got that to miss. He don't. We ain't even talking financials. We just talking about his prime. So we could have missed 3 years of Terrence Crawford. So he would be out right now. He'll be out this time next year because about the time he signed the contract extension. So you might not be seeing Crawford till 2020 at the earliest. Maybe 2021. Errol Spence would have moved on, moved up, and we wouldn't have seen the fight. So you really, like I said, I know a lot of people ignorant to the situation of how they contract work. But they invested a lot of money just to get the services of Terrence Crawford, and it just don't work that way. He don't have time to lose. He lost his time. He wasn't with Al Heyman. He wasn't with Lou DiBella. He wasn't with Gary Shaw. He wasn't with Rock Nation. He wasn't with Kathy Duva. He wasn't with Bob, and he was with a lower level promoter. Crawford wasn't really sought out as an amateur. Either was Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia just so happened to land up in Al Heyman hands and Golden Boy hands, and it worked out for him. His Golden Boy contract got ran out by an employee that wanted to stick it to Oscar De La Hoya because he wouldn't sell Golden Boy allegedly to them, Al Heyman and Richard Schaefer. When he kept getting in trouble, that's what really broke up Golden Boy. Right around Canelo and Floyd. So when people keep bringing up like, oh, he could leave, he should. You have no choice. Either you resign or you sit on the bench. And his black ass has been sitting on the bench to this day. In my Deontay Wilder book. So Al Heyman, he didn't have a choice like Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner had to pick of the litter. Golden Boy, Al, at the time, Top, everybody wanted Adrian Broner. Bob Arum had Adrian Broner to his house and set a stack of money on the piano. Look how smart Adrian Broner is, man. He played a fool. He's had a stack of money and set it on his piano and told Broner, it's your money right now if you sign to me. Now, he did the same thing to David Benavidez. You know he promotes his brother, Jose. He gave David Benavidez $250,000 in cash, I think it was, to sign Top Rank. David Benavidez did that shit. He did it. But he just signed a contract with Samson Boxing. Now, Bob Arum was claiming that contract wasn't valid. Samson Boxing fought it. Al Heyman returned $250,000 to Top Rank. And Benavidez went back to Samson Boxing. And Al Heyman okayed the deal. Adrian Broner, he probably said that same $250 for Adrian Broner. Broner, I ain't taking that shit. I ain't taking it. When you got choices, everybody got choices. When you got choices, you can still end up in a messed up predicament. Adrian Broner was just smart enough not to. You feel me? A lot of people try to sign AB. AB got stories for days for dudes trying to sign him. AB made the right choice. He got out the penitentiary. He made the right choice. When you sitting there for that long, you thinking about it. He had another lady try to sign him for nothing. He ended up playing his cards right and got the bag. Bud wasn't sought after. He ain't Zion. It wasn't Jordan Brand. It wasn't Adidas. It wasn't Puma. It wasn't Al. It wasn't Kathy. It wasn't HBO searching for a network deal. ESPN. It was like Tim Bradley, Mikey Garcia contacted Cameron Duncan. Cameron Duncan contacted Bob Arum. They signed Terrence Crawford. That's how that went. That's how it went. It was Mikey Garcia that got him signed. And some help from Tim Bradley, I believe. That's how it went. He didn't get signed because somebody got there early in the arena like Ness. Ness knew about Crawford before Bob. All them motherfuckers knew how good he was. You would think they would have talent searchers looking for guys like that. But they don't. He didn't have to pick it. It was like, oh shit, signing dotted line. Your first fight gonna be for 300,000 or 100,000. Like, nigga, for real? I've been making 5, 10, 23s at the most. Probably not even that. And now I get 6 figures. Like, nigga, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Come on. So that's just what it is, man. I'm not gonna sit there and lie to y'all. That's just what it is. I mean, it's hard to get out. Rickendall got out, but Gamboa got out, but it is what it is. I think Bud should be PBC business-wise, but regardless, he's getting more than what he was getting, a lot more. So, you know what? You go from eating rummy noodles and you eating steak and lobster, your sons and your kids and your daughters and your girl and your mama doing good. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. You think Bob Arum letting a nigga just walk? Yeah, he'll let you walk. Like Donaire, when he think Donaire all used up, he'll let you walk. Ness should have signed him. Ness should have told Al Heyman, but a lot of niggas don't even be trying to listen. Ness said he spoke to Al and he begged Al to do an interview with him. Al said he don't do that. That would have been huge for his career. That alone would have got him over $1 million. That interview alone is worth a lot of money. We ain't even talking YouTube, nigga. We talking CBS, 60 Minutes. Especially if he was to sit on that interview and maybe, years down the line and say, well, hey, we ain't got no interviews with Al Heyman. Well, I got a 60-minute interview with 30, shit, a 10-minute clip to get this nigga. If he said a few $100 million. That interview with Al Heyman is the only interview that I actually desperately would want to have. That interview is life changing. That's a life changing interview. That's a life changing interview. He said Al said he couldn't, and I understand. But if I can get an interview, shit, 2-minute interview, you know how much fucking money that would be? Woo-hoo. Shit, nigga, I'd be out the hood, man, for sure. I'd be gone for sure. That's a lot of fucking money right there. Interview with Al Heyman. Shit, ask him what that nigga favorite color is for 30 seconds. Well, my favorite color is blue. Nigga. Nigga. The power of moving in silence. For him, that's a couple $2-3 million interview. Imagine a 60-minute special with Al Heyman, a 4-part series. If he really got caught up and needed some money for real, or he really was in trouble like PBC and they say about PBC investors, all he got to do is do an interview. Shit, CBS give him a couple $100 million for that. But let's talk about Leo Santa Cruz ducking Gary Russell to fight Tank, and I'm also talking about Oscar Valdez and open it up, man. Shit, that's the interview I want. I ain't gonna lie. I don't do interviews like, I want that interview. I like you, Sam, but I don't need that interview. I like you, Steven Espinoza. I like you, Errol Spence, somewhat. Terrence Crawford got much love for you, but that interview right there, shit. I ain't got to write my question. I know exactly what to ask him. And if it's off the record, nigga, how can I get some money with you? Shit. That's my only question. How can I get some money? How can I get some money with you? Shit, a FaceTime interview with Al will be money on top of, man, shit, how can I get some, well, you've been talking shit about, yeah, you're right, I'm a real nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a real motherfucking nigga. I'm gonna call it how it is. Now, you can explain why you did this and that, and I'll be like, you know what? But I ain't gonna lie, like y'all say, you think Sam Watson ain't never said shit behind your back, nigga? I don't care how many business y'all been in, like, this whole ass nigga, this nigga said he was giving me $100,000, he gave me $999,000. Like, nigga, that's just the game. I keep it 100 across the board. You gotta respect a nigga that keep it 100. Al, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect a nigga, man. You got to respect a nigga that keep it a buck. But basically, I don't know if Leo Santa Cruz is gonna be at the fight this weekend. Unless you got a question. No, I'm not talking about Pacquiao Mayweather. I did 2 videos about that shit. That's it. He said if all falls off, he can do an interview for it. You ain't lying for real. John Black, I need that nigga get it in. But hold on. But Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't understand why Santa Cruz want to fight. Why does people think Gervonta Tank? I understand why they think Gervonta Tank Davis sweet, but what is the fear of Gary Russell? That's another guy that I have to figure out. What is the fear of Gary Russell? Because one thing is he's very inactive, and to explain his inactivity, he says that I guess he got bad hands. He only want the big fights, and he ready to retire. He's been saying that for the last few years. He hasn't nailed those fights down yet. But I would like Santa Cruz chances a lot more with Gary Russell than Tank Davis. Once again, Santa Cruz has moved up multiple weight classes, right? One thing we do know is Gervonta Tank Davis is a one-punch knockout artist against bantamweights, featherweights, and super featherweights. One punch, he can knock you out. Another thing we do know, Santa Cruz can box a little bit, cool. But you got a better chance boxing T-Rex arms. This is my Keith Thurman voice. You got better chance boxing T-Rex arms than Gary Russell. And beating him, you got Tank. Because one thing we know about Tank is Tank got thumped. Tank can box. He showed that versus Pedraza. And Tank could kill your body. With Gary Russell, he don't have. I like Gervonta Tank foot movement better than Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand what's so scary about Gary Russell. Maybe it's financial. Maybe you getting so much money to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Maybe it's a huge check to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. I just don't understand. I would rather fight Gary Russell if I'm Santa Cruz. You got longer arms to keep him on the outside, but then again, they have fought in amateurs, and he must have put it on Leo Santa Cruz. Oh yeah, I didn't get that. I'll check my Twitter in a minute. What's your dream matchup at 68? Benavidez and Plant. But I say that question. I'm gonna get Q&A. What's up, Renardo? Too. It's funny that Santa Cruz dug Gary Russell for Tank. Tank gonna take some fights off his career. His career over with, unless he can go back down. But I just don't understand that's another guy. What has Gary Russell done? Has he killed some featherweight? Has he knocked out a middleweight we don't know about? What's the fear? If it's just like, he just don't bring enough money to the table. Like, get Santa Cruz. Like, what is you looking for? You a nigga that probably ain't made $5 million in your career, being in the lower weight classes. If you fight Gary Russell, is he gonna stop you? Like, the probabilities of you getting stopped versus Tank is way higher than it is versus Gary Russell. Karate Body say in the super chat, Santa Cruz Knight can't stomach another loss against Gary Russell. Plus, he'll make more money against Tank. Sometimes it's a mental thing with people. Yeah, he will make more money with Tank, but then again, it's a short turnaround. He want, and that's another advantage he trying to get. He trying to fight Tank in September 14th, but look like Canelo might strike a deal with Derevchenko. Now I don't know if it'll be on September 14th, but if Canelo do fight on that date, then him and Santa Cruz will probably be a pay-per-view event, or I wish it was a free Fox event. Which Tank got more of affiliation with Showtime because of Steven Espinoza and Mayweather and CBS relationship. It probably gonna be more November, December. And I'm fine with it. If it come down to Gervonta knocking out Leo Santa Cruz, I take it. Tank would be my favorite fighter of all time. You think Leo Santa Cruz would try to, go to the zone on a 1 or 2 fight deal and beat Tevin Farmer and take his belt. But I never thought he was that good of a fighter. He's never impressed me. Not one. He impressed me with the rematch of Carl Frampton. That's the only fight I've been impressed with him. That's the only fight I've been impressed with Santa Cruz. Gary Russell only feared because of his speed. That's it. They got to be because I don't see great foot speed. His hand speed is great, and he got a high IQ in the boxing ring. But maybe we ain't seen the best of what he got. Because he a good puncher at 26, but he ain't no devastating puncher. Tank versus Riley, who he wins because Farmer's man. Gervonta Tank Davis, he'd beat Farmer in like 2 rounds at the most. That ain't Tevin Farmer. Like I said, that's a bad matchup for him. I'm not even gonna slander his name. Santa Cruz get hit with that right that Tank dropped to Pedraza with. It's gonna be career ending, at least, or career changing. I hope not. Jekyll salute Ryan Robertson. I felt like Mike Lee was too damn near falling on him. Yeah, Mike Lee wasn't that good, bro. Tank needs to fight Gary Russell. If he beat, I know, really, Leo Santa Cruz needs to fight Gary Russell. But if Tank beat Santa Cruz, then yeah, he need to fight Gary Russell. I agree. He said, I think Canelo might be later this year. Could be. I don't know. Because I heard they still negotiating. I'm not sure, but I heard that it's still a possibility that he's still negotiating with Kovalev. He get past Anthony Yarde August 24th. That him and Kovalev are gonna fight in December. So he gonna come back in September, and then maybe later than September 14th, and then Kovalev in December. So I don't know, depending on physically how you're feeling. Dr. Blick salute. So I don't know, but it is what it is. So, that is what it is. I just don't understand the fear of Gary Russell. For Santa Cruz. You got longer arms, so, at the end of the day, you can be, working on, and they both are southpaw, Russell and Tank, but, Tank bring more money, so be it. It's like Gary Russell, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I think if they put Gary Russell in with Tank, if Tank beats Santa Cruz, then Tank level opposition is, in my opinion, he could beat Santa Cruz and Gary Russell and unify with somebody, maybe Burchett, then I think he might crack pound for pound. Finally. Who wins the rematch? J-Rock or Hurd? I don't know yet, to be honest. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about it. It should be coming in November. It's probably going to be on that Wilder undercard, to be honest. But, let me speak on Shakur Stevenson real quick. Let me speak on basically Oscar Valdez. If you didn't see my video, Oscar Valdez manager said that he said that they are not going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson because Shakur Stevenson hasn't done enough. He hasn't done nothing. But yet again, he said that his fighter can't make the weight, but they're willing to make the weight for Carl Frampton and Warrington because those fights are worth it, and they mean more. But didn't Carl Frampton just lose to somebody? Who Carl Frampton just? He just lost to Josh Warrington. So how does Carl Frampton, what does beating Carl Frampton do for you in America? Nothing. Nobody care about Carl Frampton. Santa Cruz beat him, and Warrington beat him, and he at the end of his career. He barely making 126 pounds. So it would say, I'm just moving up to 130 fight Carl Frampton. I can't make the weight no more. Cool. But then again, when you got your team out here saying that I can't make 130 no more, I can't make 126, no more, but I'm willing to fight Frampton and Warrington at 26, but not Stevenson, it make you look bad. And where do they get these managers from? Real talk, because it's a couple dudes over here and says what has Oscar Valdez's last 3 opponents done? Valdez has fought nothing but cans, exactly. But all I'm saying is this. A lot of these dudes can use better management. I would fire that guy. I don't care if he's my uncle, my cousin. I send him back to school to learn or have him go out there and find us a PR, a publicist. And same thing for Errol Spence. Errol Spence could have turned the tide of this new WBO thing the PBC doing. All Errol Spence had to say is, I negotiated with Bob Arum. The deal was weak. Bob don't want to make the fight. Everybody would have believed him. Everybody would have believed him. Oh, Bob Arum on that bullshit again. Terrence need to get away from Bob. But him saying, he won't give him to me. Bob said, okay, I see you. Oh, no, I'm fighting Sean Porter. I'm getting an easy belt now. And all of that stuff. Now he looked bad. All he had to do was say, I talked to Bob. Even if he didn't talk, I talked to Bob. The deal was bad. My team said, no, they bullshitting. Too bad the fight not going to happen because they not willing to send Crawford over here, or they not willing to give me a fair deal to fight over there, or to do a joint thing, or the fight not big enough. That ended everything. That ended everything. Well, nobody been putting pressure on him. Nobody would have been saying undisputed. Nobody would have said, why are you fighting Sean Porter? He went out there and he went out there and destroyed his own career. He had to do simple things. Oscar Valdez, his manager just destroyed him. And then you said, well, he got 6 titles. He's a warrior. How you a warrior? You ducking? Don't make the word warrior synonymous with a guy that's lying about making the weight. A guy that don't want to fight a fighter that's 12-0 or 13-0. You're not a warrior. You a duck. You a duck. You're not a warrior. The warriors are dudes that fight like Mad Max. Warriors are guys that's willing to put it all on the line. Warriors are guys that's willing to fight anybody and everybody, anytime, any place. Warriors are guys that go in there, and no matter the competition level, give it they all and never quit. That's a warrior. Oscar Valdez on the wall. His manager just killed anything about his career. He's a punani. It's a guy I like Oscar Valdez coming up, man. What do you think of Oscar Valdez can be hearing? Yeah, it's possibility. Oscar Valdez got talent, but he still got his mouth open. Hearing a taller fighter, and he regressing ever since that Scott Quigg fight, and even before that, Top Rank never challenged him. Top Rank never gave him an opponent to really raise his level. Instead, he sat there fighting tomato cans. He sat there fighting the Moragas of the world, going to war with Moraga, taking unnecessary damage for fights that didn't do nothing for his legacy. You know what I'm saying? He sat there and took damn near a career-ending ass whooping from Quigg, who came in overweight. And people say, "Oh, it was one of the fights of the year." That's it. What did it do for Oscar Valdez's career? Nothing. If you're gonna sit there and take that type of punishment from somebody, why not fight Gary Russell? Why not fight Santa Cruz? Why not fight Lee Selby at the time and unify? And all of a sudden, you can kind of make your name and beat a young champion, Shakur Stevenson, coming up, a silver medalist, and you can finally get a career-defining, meaningful fight. And all of a sudden now, he hasn't done nothing. And what has Josh Warrington done? He beat Lee Selby. That's a UK on UK crime. He beat Carl Frampton. Okay. What has he done out the ordinary? He said Quigg was moving up in weight too, and that make it look even worse. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. In Top Rank, they're not going to force him to do it. If they want to, they can incentivize that contract and make Valdez do it and say, we give you more money. But they don't. Top Rank ain't in the business of sacrificing they Mexican or Hispanic or the Eastern European, Russian, Kazakhstan fighters, wherever they from, Ukrainian fighters to no black fighter. That's the problem with Top Rank. And a lot of fighters now what's going on with Bud and what's going on with Shakur, Top Rank just don't know how to build publicity for black fighters. They don't know how to promote them, and they're not willing to shove out them. Even if ESPN say, "Here go $100 million, go make the Errol Spence fight," Bob Arum will say, "Well, they only gave me $20 million. We only can offer Errol 7 of that, Crawford 7 of that, the pay-per-view money." Motherfucker gonna sit there and pocket $80 million. Bob Arum is 90 years old. And he's still money hungry. Like, what else can you buy? You can't buy a new dick. You can't buy age. You can't be 20 years old again. You got all the cars you wanted. You can buy a Hussy, but they don't cost that much. What else is you buying? You want a private jet? You probably already got. What else can you buy? Well, Floyd tell you how many motherfucking suits can he buy? You don't play Xbox. You don't go to Dave & Buster's. You don't have a lot of young kids. So what is you saving for at this point? What are you saving for? That's what you gotta ask yourself. What is you saving for? If he truly wanted to, he can go in the Top Rank bag and make Errol Spence an offer he couldn't refuse, or Danny Garcia offer. He could make that shit happen. But he's not doing that for no brother. He's not going on his way. And if you at the situation where you black and you got a Top Rank only choice, the only people that want to sign you, well, God bless your heart. God bless your heart, because Top Rank fighters, they rarely unify. They keep the same WBO belt. They rarely unify. It's hard to find a lot of Top Rank fighters that unify or got other belts, and that's why Al Heyman pulled out of that shit, man. And it's sad though, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not gonna be the voice of reason and try to make that Stevenson. Stevenson is in a bad predicament, but it ain't Stevenson's fault. Stevenson tried to go over to Mayweather Promotions with Al Heyman and them. Floyd Mayweather never ponied the money up. Floyd Mayweather he spent hundred thousands, millions with Gucci and 100,000 on 20 chicks that's in his entourage. He do all that shit. That's not gonna bring no return. What it's gonna bring? A back rub, some coochie. You can get coochie off GP. What you paying? Niggas will be worth $1 billion and still paying for pussy. Like, come on, this niggas that ain't even got $2 to rub together. That's hitting badder bitches than niggas with billionaires. Like, you a billionaire? Just her sitting in a rave, you should be able to get the cooch. Come on, what you still paying for pussy folk? Buying bitches bags and shoes. The nigga's a simp. He's a simp. You could have took that money, got Shakur Stevenson. He was willing to sign, and guess what? Shakur Stevenson right now is in the near future. You gonna double your money up. You're gonna make a huge return. Imagine they do Shakur Stevenson the tank card in Jersey and Baltimore in a 6-month period, 12-month period. Do it twice. With Shakur and Javante Tank Davis, you could lock up the East Coast. Don't let Richard Hitchison come up too and Dylan Price come up and they actually be good. Them 4 fighters, you sold up the East Coast. You sold up Jersey. You shored up New York with Hitchison, Jersey with Shakur and Dylan, and then you sold up Baltimore in the DMV area with Tank. And then all the other fighters PBC got at they access with Jared Hurd and J Rock. Like, nigga, y'all on the East. You're on the East Coast. But Floyd, the thing about Floyd, if I had to pick sign with Floyd or sign with Bob Arum, I probably would sign with Bob Arum, to be honest. Because Floyd don't want nobody being bigger than the brand. That's like Michael Jordan just saying, you know what, even though I can make a lot of money and always be affiliated with Zion, I don't want Zion to be bigger than me. But then if Zion be bigger than you, that's another $1 billion on top of your $1 billion. Shit, perhaps $2 billion. You can't be under a nigga that don't want you to succeed. You know what I'm saying? That's like the rap game. Rick Ross say, "Oh man, I signed this nigga Meek, but I'm gonna make sure this nigga Meek never bigger than me." Meek been a bigger artist than him this last year and in years prior to that. You think Rick Ross saying, "Oh, that album whack, redo it over again. I don't like it." He letting Meek flourish, even though Meek has become bigger than the Maybach brand, the Maybach music brand. Is Rick Ross out here hating? Oh, fuck that nigga. He chilling with Jay-Z. Jay-Z brought him to Def Jam, I think it was. You can't have no big brother that wants you to be better than him. You think Jay-Z and Meek Mill working together? I got a video coming later on about that. They working together, and and Meek Mill getting a head start on Jay-Z or starting, Jay-Z giving him all the knowledge he got now. You think he don't want Meek to be bigger than he is? When by the time he's 40, 50, if Jay got $1 billion, he really want Meek to have $1.5 billion, $2 billion, and he want Meek to pass to the next upcoming artist. You can't be with niggas that don't want you to be shit. You can't. He said Memphis Bleak found Ross. I ain't know that good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be with Bob. I'd rather deal with like I said this before. I'd rather get played by a white man than my own brother. Angel Santos, salute. You can't be with nobody or learn under nobody who don't want you to flourish. And that's a sad case with Mayweather Promotions. Tank Davis, he know what's up. Leonard Ellerbe running probably PBC day to day. And that's crazy. And Floyd, and he always go to these Tank presses. I did it this way. And I tell Tank, it's always I. Like, nigga, I'd rather be a brick mason than fight under Floyd. Jay Gang say Top Rank is a good start off as a prospect, get hometown fighting, maybe a belt along the way process. Then you gotta leave or force them to give you a bag. You gotta start putting your money up in the beginning. You gotta start putting your money up in the beginning. Anthony Durrell have a chance. Yeah, he got a chance. Yep, you gotta start putting your money up in the beginning. If you don't start putting your money up in the beginning, it is what it is. Cornelius Lil John, salute. Salute, brother. Floyd is a narcissist. Pretty yeah. Yeah, but it is what it is, man. But we talked about the WBO and the PBC side of things. I agree with the whole way. I'm sorry, got to be some casualties of war in Bud Crawford, but it is what it is. That's the right move. And we talked about the Tank thing, and I just don't understand. I don't understand the Tank thing. Why Leo Santa Cruz want to fight Tank over Gary Russell. I understand it's more money, but I think if you use your height and you can time Gary Russell, you have a good camp. You bring in some guys in your camp that got fast hands, and you try to get that timing down pat. Gary Russell don't really move with the hips a lot. His head right in the center. He used a few angles, but it should be a fight that Gary Russell should perform better than with Gervonta Tank Davis. But then Gary Russell could be like, well, Santa Cruz probably like, you know what, Gary Russell should have fought more, got his name up, and maybe the fight would be worth some shit. Gervonta Tank Davis got a bigger name because he aligned with Floyd, and I want that fight because it's more money. He choosing to unify. He choosing to move up in weight versus one of the biggest punchers in boxing, rather than unify and do some Hall of Fame worthy shit. So it is what it is. Isn't in a contract that Andy have to take the rematch? And I'm not sure it's in the contract, but I remember the Jeff Horn Pacquiao contract, which is obviously different from what Andy Ruiz got going on. That the reason Pacquiao didn't take the Jeff Horn rematch is because Australia, wherever they fought in Brisbane, Australia, they got preference for the rematch, and they can outbid any other venue. So if they outbidded wherever Pacquiao wanted to fight, then they had to go back to Australia. Australia had first preference, so it could be in a rematch clause where Andy Ruiz, got to do what AJ say. But I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I would sit there, and first thing I would do, since we not recognize that WBO no more, I'll drop that motherfucker. Say I don't want it. It's gone. So worst case scenario, if I don't fight AJ, the bitch only got 2 belts. You feel what I'm saying? If I lose, the bitch only got 2 belts. But I would say, okay, I signed a fight in Cardiff. Week before the fight, or the week of the fight, I pull out that bitch. Oh, I strained my hamstring. Oh, I hurt my foot in camp. This nigga tripping outside. Or, I pull out an injury the week of the fight. Say, I'm injured. WBO, I said, well, the WBO, the sanctionable bodies, they want you to file an exception, so you can keep the belts. I wouldn't file them bitches. I'd be like, look here, either I had somebody tell them anonymously, either we fight in America, or Andy gonna release these 2 belts. It's your choice. And if Eddie said we still fighting in the UK, I'd be like, hey, IBF, WBC, WBO, WBA, take these belts. I'll drop all the belts. I said, I'll rematch AJ now. I'll rematch him now. Come on. Now, what are you gonna rematch him for? He don't have no belts. First thing I do is drop the WBO. I say, if you don't want to, you want to fight, you want to put this fight in the UK, I'm dropping the WBO. Dropping the fuck out that bitch. Like, it's gone. I don't want to pay that sanctioned belt fee. I want my money back. You had this belt. I said, make it in the UK if you want to. Oh, we still, all right, week of the fight, I pull out, I'm injured. Can't fight. Push that bitch back. I'll be back in June. And on the way, oh shit, the IBF stripped me. Oh shit, the WBA stripped me. I'm ready to fight. I'll do that nigga like that. I'll break them 3 belts up. I had somebody in PBC ready to pick up at least one of them. That's what I would do. AJ should fight in New York. Fuck Cardiff. It's bad look to run back to the UK and to get your revenge win. Yeah, especially if he win, because everybody gonna say he orange juiced up. Do Derevchenko have a chance against Canelo? Not going to the zone, he don't. If he was a bigger puncher, he would. Is WBA a Mexican organization? Gilberto Ramirez. I don't know where you're from. Sound Hispanic. Couldn't Gary fight whoever get Leo belt and unify Twisty? You gotta wait for them to get the belt, and then they gotta be willing to fight him. So we'll see. It could, but it ain't the fight he want. Manny versus Gervonta. I don't know if he want to fight Manny after that shit. He said he wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao. What are you gonna fight at, like 140? That's what I would do if I'm Andy Ruiz. Fuck them belts. I probably ain't gonna beat Wilder anyway. I force Eddie to make it back to the United States. Now Eddie don't have none of the belts. He used to can fight for the WBO still, obviously, but then he ain't got none of the belts now. And here's what it is. Wilder and Ruiz, is that a massive mismatch? I don't think it's a massive mismatch. Duhaupas competed against Wilder. Eric Molina competed against Wilder. And I think Andy Ruiz at least above them. Bermain in the first fight competed against Wilder. I don't think it's a massive industry. It's in Panama. I know they moved to WBA somewhere to South America, I think. Somewhere. Argentina, one of them fucking countries. They moved it. It probably used to be in Panama. I know they moved it somewhere in South America because Gilberto Ramirez's daughter, they moved to wherever she went to college at. Ain't that something? Yeah, but y'all got some questions. I'll answer them. I'll answer some questions if y'all got them. I answer some questions. Who got some questions? Let me see. Who got some questions? Hold on. Who you got Saturday? I don't know. I still ain't looked at no film. I'll do a prediction video. I've been saying it. I don't know. I think Guatemala. Yeah, it's somewhere like that. So the WBO is a major belt. Not to PBC. Not to PBC. Not to PBC. Ryan, who you see beating Canelo next? It depends on who he fight. Anybody he fighting probably not gonna beat him. Maybe Boo Boo. I don't think he gonna fight him though. Is the Heron Berchel unification still happening? No, it's not happening. Jamel Harrington had a mandatory, so Heron got to handle his mandatory. Cool mentioned how much do you Spence is gonna take off of Porter's career? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know how bad it's gonna be. I'm not convinced it's gonna be as clean a fight. Sean Porter probably gonna be headbutting to survive. So Sean Porter know how not to take a lot of punishment. Even in that Kell Brook fight, he took some shots, but he had never really took a lot of punishment. Keith Thurman threw some out, but he ain't took a lot of punishment. So we'll see. 54 Trill, Ruiz is a bum. He just stylistically bad for AJ Waterfield. Ruiz is not a bum. He actually beat Joseph Parker. Ruiz ain't no bum. Y'all be throwing that word around real loose. He ain't no bum. Is Regis versus Taylor still? I heard. I don't know what's going on with the World Box Super Series tournament. Is it because Bud has the belt? Who said that? Dr. Bullet. It could be, but not really. They said Al Heyman say the WBO is biased. And he ain't lying. Every WBO champion we list from 118 all the way, except for cruiserweight up to heavyweight, and except for heavyweight, is all with either ESPN or the Zone, or they affiliated with either Oscar De La Hoya or Bob Arum in some type of way. Did you mean WBO isn't recognized? Well, I fucked up the title. Yeah, I fucked the title up, man. I don't even know if I can fix that shit. Hold on. This shit been acting funny. I'll fix it in a minute. Give me a minute. I'll fix it. Let me see. Keep going. If Earl never fights Bud, that will be worse than bowling. No, it won't be. In my opinion, it won't be. Because if he goes on to fight J Rock, or if he goes on to I'm sorry, my shit fucking up, but he goes on to fight J Rock, or if he goes on to Unified 154, he beat Shine or beat Pacquiao, then he fight Canelo and beat Canelo, then it's like it's like, it don't really matter. Is AJ versus Reeves going to the UK? I don't know. Ryan Robertson, this is going to be. Hold on, I can fix it now. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. So what do you say? Is AJ going to the okay? Is this going to be the first fight Spence get cut? Could be. I don't never remember him getting cut before. If he do, it's probably going to be from an illegal shot. Do you think Anthony Yarde has to go for the KO fight in Russia? Yeah, he fighting Kovalev hometown. Can Kovalev even go 12? If Yarde start working the body, yeah, he need to. I would go for the KO, but he got to get past Kovalev. Good jab. That's his first problem. AJ is the bum that can't fight. Facts. Karate body. That's gonna be a tough fight, even if Porter gets KO. Yeah, because the way Porter fights, tough fight. Skills from New Orleans. Salute Young Jeff. He's the only people who say Rasheed is a bum. These AJ nut snuckers and huggers. AJ is the bum of bums. John Black Johnny. Her game. If Andy a bum, what is AJ? I agree. 54 Trail. WC is biased and WBA has 5 different belts. They are worse than the WBO. In the grand scheme of things, they're not, because some of those PBC fighters hold that WBC belt. And the PBC treated PBC fighter Jamal Charlo like a $2 hold, but they eventually gave him the belt. But they didn't strip Canelo and strip him of his dignity the way they should have. So I do agree, but there's not a PBC fighter that holds the WBO belt currently. Lawrence McCaleb punished a fight on the Spence Porter card. He didn't take any punishment, and they can build up a fight with Darrell and Benavidez. They're not trying to make that fight no time soon, though. That's the problem. Just because you don't know a fighter don't make them a bum. WBO is trash too. Yeah, WBO was the last belt out the major belts to be part of Undisputed. You didn't need to have that belt. I think back in 2009. AJ is going to Coward of Fame first class. You ain't lying. Tony, predictions for Kovalev yard. I gotta do some film work, but just off top, I probably would favor Kovalev. Hometown, real good jab. I ain't seen a ton of Yard fights, especially he ain't fought nobody. It's hard for me to say, just off GP, but Esco, he said for Ruiz was to win the rematch, would he drop the belt? He should drop it now. Save him 3% or whatever, 1.5%, 2%, whatever they taking. I'll drop that bitch now. They didn't recognize it, and I'll drop that. That link in the description. They didn't recognize it. It's not Canelo's Canelo, Billy Brobes. MM Sports, I just helped what's up with not being recognized. I dropped the link in the description. In the chat. Or you can go back and listen. Y'all gotta get to the body, but he has to get past Kovalev's stick. Yep. Where do the IBF fit in this? I don't know. Ask PBC. They gotta recognize them. They are in Florida though. The IBF in Jersey. What's going on, Quan? Salute. Tell little Quan I said what up. Why don't championship levels fight have mandatory VADA testing? I don't know. That's when shit Floyd started. Boxing didn't even think about VADA drug testing. They just stuck with the commission. Floyd started that shit because what they saying about Pacquiao. It's just what it boiled down to. That's just what it boiled down to. Floyd started that shit, man. Floyd started that shit. Tank Davis is a tougher fight. Yeah, it's a tougher fight. It's an unnecessary fight. Anybody asked for Tank versus fucking Leo Santa Cruz. Why you just don't fight Gary Russell? That's a more winnable fight. And it's unification. Honestly, do you think Errol stands a chance with J Rock? I heard they saying he beat J Rock in the amateurs. Now that's the amateurs, but we'll see if he can beat Canelo. I'm pretty sure he should be able to beat J Rock. I know styles make fights, but I don't know. That's a tough fight. Did you see his last spar? No, I'm gonna check it out. Karate body. I think Kovalev jab is going to be too much. Could be. That jab a power shot. Bro, you don't like Floyd. Man, hell, who do? I damn sure like Pacquiao. Floyd is I don't fuck with that nigga, man. He is simp. He as a fighter, he's an excellent fighter. But the way he turned his back on the brothers, nah, bro. In my opinion. As a fighter, unbelievable. But the way he act like, oh, the Mexicans, the reason he ain't get no black support, okay. I don't give a fuck what happened to that nigga. They could chop that motherfucking head off. I wouldn't care. Wouldn't shed a tear. Bet you. So you don't think he gonna have their own belt eventually? Yeah, that was the talk. PBC having their own belt when they first started. That was a huge rumor that PBC was gonna have their own belt. It might be a step towards that. They might replace the WBO with the PBC belt and working in. That was when PBC first started. That was a huge rumor that they was gonna have their own belt. See, a lot of motherfuckers just started watching boxing, yesterday or last year, a couple years ago. But when PBC first started, because I remember when they first started, that was a huge rumor when Marcus Brown fought Hot Rod. And Hot Rod beat his ass, though. But they gave Marcus Brown a decision, though. I'm not trying to hear shit about no May Pack. They already building that up. I told you I heard that was coming. He said he's simping right. Stupid. Rashad Penman, who you like on this Porter Spence fight? Spence by 10 country miles, by 10 green miles. And my Michael Clark Duncan voice. Jose and Collazo, that shit off. that fight off. Collazo, Benavidez got hurt with his leg, but I heard some other shit. I ain't saying that. I don't even remember who told me about what really happened with Benavidez. I know who told me. I ain't repeating that shit, but I heard it wasn't no leg injury. But that's all I say. I heard it wasn't no leg injury. Can't mess with Mayweather. Not after those what he did sign happened. And that Gucci shit, I was done. Like I've been done with him, but after that Gucci shit, I was done. Hot Rod beat the dog shit out. Hot Rod can fight, but Turbia, that's what made me a believer. When he handled Hot Rod like that, I was like, man, that motherfucker Baturbia. I can't wait for Baturbia Ghostface. I'm gonna try to make it to that shit, bro. I promise I'm gonna try to make it. I have a pet. His name is Joshua Jared Thurman. Damn, Joshua Jared Thurman. The New UI versus Donaire. How does it go? Donaire trying to duck that fade. He said, they don't make this fight soon. I'm moving on. He trying to duck that fucking fade. And Donaire on duck fades, but I don't blame that nigga. The way that motherfucker hitting. If Donaire was younger and still had that power after that fight with Rigondeaux and that fight with Nicholas Walters, that changed his career. Jose Benavidez versus Ugis. I'll probably get that to Benavidez. He probably gonna be more active. Ugis just can't punch. He was more active with his hands last fight, but man, you ain't fearing his power. He's a strong guy. He just can't punch. Spence Porter odds a negative 400, so you can make money. I'm straight. Earl's, I don't know. I know. Maybe you put 100 just to get 4. I heard they don't got Donaire money. Well, then, that's a great excuse to slide out the side door or the front door. Shit, you go walk out the front door. Baturbia might be the hardest puncher at 7. Oh yeah, one of the most hardest punchers. Because Gosvick he can punch, but he don't punch like that nigga. Baturbia was. I'm impressed. Well, he said they ain't got Donaire money, so that ain't a duck. I just know the nigga was talking about pulling out. So they called the whole Collazo fight out, no replace. Yeah, I mean, it was on the West Coast, so that fight was for Jose Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? If a fight gonna be for Collazo, it's gonna be in New York City. You know what I'm saying? That was gonna be on the campus of USC. So if they're gonna do a fight for Collazo, that's gonna be in New York City. Benavidez anywhere out west. Appreciate it, Rashawn Pittman, for real. I don't know. Lopez and Comey gonna be an interesting fight. They're gonna try to rob Comey. Oscar Valdez and security purse bid on no, ain't no purse bid. Oscar Valdez team said they not taking a fight. I just did a video and I just spoke on it. Check out the video; it's more thorough. Yeah, Stevenson probably gonna fight Joet Gonzalez for that title. Are the pay-per-view numbers out from Pacquiao Thurman? Haven't heard. Probably be out Thursday. You got streaming numbers, you got movie theater numbers, and you got the network numbers. So you can order it on the app. You got to get the digital numbers, and it take time. What's today? Wednesday. You probably hear something Thursday, Friday. Latest probably Monday. The longer it go, the more bleak it look though. If you were to make a new belt for every division, what would you call it? I don't know. It's a good question. The Mayweather belt. Talking shit. I was just thinking about that, Sean. He said, "Are the pay?" Yeah, okay, yeah, that'd be all. It take time with the new streaming platforms and all that. It usually don't come out till like what? Pay-per-view numbers don't come out till like Thursday. So they really want to push a Crawford Benavidez too. What else can they do, to be real? I'm not sure that's what they was pushing, but the fight did good numbers for regular ESPN. Who are the top 15 welterweights? Damn, 15, nigga? I don't know. Shit. That nigga didn't say 5. That nigga said 15. You go like what? Earl, Terrence, Sean, Danny, Manny, Keith. That's 6. Ugis. Ugis. Shit, that's a good fucking question. I don't know. Maybe ask me 15, nigga. Like, damn. Who the fuck got 15 anything thinking right now? Ugis. Oh, you Lipinets. That's 8. I don't know. That shit tough. Too many of these niggas. It's gonna be a good fight if it does happen. Joet versus Shakur. People talking about Pacquiao on orange juice after beating Keith Thurman, but Thurman had one to blame. But yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Adrian Broner couldn't complain either. He did complain about wasn't no testing, and they did testing like 3 or 4 weeks out to his fight. But Keith Thurman gave up all his leverage. He walked out. He worked out first. He weighed in first. His name on the poster second. Keith Thurman sold his soul for a fight with Pacquiao and still got beat. Haney and Lopez, I really don't care about the fight. That's just not gonna happen no time soon between Haney and Lopez. That's a waste of me even thinking about it. 2 different networks, 2 different weight classes in a minute. Well, they both could be at 1-4. I just don't see it happening no time soon. Especially if Lopez fight Comey and Lomachenko. He gonna get his ass. He gonna be trying to rebuild. Golden Boy dude with I don't even know how to pronounce that dude's name. I don't know. I don't know what to pronounce. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know. That little minimum weight guy. So what's the word on Jay? I heard it's gonna be in November. I heard it right like a week after 2 weeks after they fought. It's gonna be in November. They're gonna have a rematch. I was really pulling for Thurman. Me too. I was trying to see if Benavidez top 10 welterweight. Yeah, he top 10. He definitely top 10. You said 15 though, nigga. He definitely in top 10. I know Donaire has a good chin, but if he KO him in 1 round, I can't wait till he fight Emmanuel Navarrete. That's gonna be a fucking war. That's kind of like in my mind hardcore pay-per-view worthy. And Inoue versus Emmanuel Navarrete, I want to see Navarrete kind of get some defenses in though, and kind of Inoue kind of grow into 122. So we a ways away. Yeah, I think he was on the orange juice. Yeah, I do. I said it. I said it all leading up to that fight. And they waited to do drug tests like a 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out from the fight. Pacquiao's doing something to get away with. He can get away with it as long as you ain't a nigga. You can get away with it. If you a brother, you can't get away with nothing like that. You can't get away with nothing like you can't get away from you. If he was black, if this was DeAndre Jackson, oh, he's on the juice, and y'all see what happened to his gospel. Yeah, he good punch. Yeah, Roxman's a big puncher. I want to say like Berturbia big, but he can, yeah. But y'all see Zab Judah suing he got a lawyer to get Cletus Selden drug test results. Remember, he got injured versus Cletus Selden, and they didn't even reveal his drug test results. So Zab Judah hired a lawyer to get Cletus Selden drug test results. The Hebrew Hammer, he had a failed drug test before. Now Mikey probably going back down. Mikey probably go to the zone to fight Lomachenko. Him and Eddie and Bob will work out a deal for that. Yep. Why Thurman did not no testing he away did Vada before did. Yeah, I mean at the end of the day when you fight Pacquiao, he waived your right. Same thing for Broner. Broner said they was doing USADA, and then 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out to the fight, he complained about it. They switched to Vada for 3 or 4 weeks. They did this the second fight they did that shit for Pacquiao. This second time they did this shit. And nobody bringing it up at the PBC fights. Not Kenny. Not shout out to Kenny Porter. Fred on his neck, ain't he? I ain't gonna send Fred. I was gonna text Fred, so now I'm just leave it alone. I'm gonna stay out of this shit. But not Kenny, not AB. Keith Thurman took an ass whooping and didn't say nothing. If Keith Thurman said something, that's how I know. That's how I know that that's how I know he was retiring. Jamel, Jamal, Plant, Ray Mancini, Deontay, none of them niggas say nothing. None of them said nothing. It took for Eddie Hearn to say something first that I heard. Then the next day, I didn't hear quite. I just heard somebody video. Town. I'm not sure what Teddy Atlas said, but it took 2 white guys to point out Pacquiao looked like he had a little extra pep in the step. It took Eddie Hearn to say something first. It took for Eddie Hearn to say something first. What do you think of Northern Columbia? I heard that name before. I ain't seen him fight. I heard Kenny got Fred banned from Sean Spencer Porter. They always do that shit. Kenny always doing that shit. That's what I hear. I don't know. That ain't the first time I heard about that. It is what it is. Like, I mean, he must fear Fred. You know what I'm saying? He must fear Fred. I heard he tried to he pulled up on Fred at the Pacquiao and Broner fight or something. He tried to fight him or something in the lobby or some shit like that. He tried to fight him or some shit like that. So he tried to confront him. He had the right one. But as black men, they need to like sit down and talk. They don't need to be beefing through the media and shit. I heard he had a problem. I was listening to that Wood video. He had a problem with the guy. Shout out to him. He had a problem with Ness too. So I don't know, man. I ain't saying nothing, but I ain't letting nobody use me. I'm just gonna say that. You know what? I ain't letting nobody use me. Especially after seeing, what happened with that situation and Ness. I'm straight. I just don't need it. I don't need a hotel room. I don't need a flight. If you just gonna try to use me for my platform, but then diss my platform, like I just don't do that. Depending on where Murata and Brent, if Murata and Brent happen in America, I got Brent. Cutthroat, salute. Oh yeah, email me. My email in the description. I was thinking about starting a podcast, but another one was some at a venue in Detroit. That'd be dope. We get a little venue and we do a live podcast. That should be dope because I see a lot of dudes that's on social media, like Clint Cooley on Facebook. Follow the brother Clint Cooley. He from Philly too. All my niggas from Philly. Fuck with him, man. He be talking about relationship shit, and he take his podcast and he hit different cities and shit. We should get it like beans and cornbread. Get the venue there and do a live podcast there. I just don't have nobody to link up with. I know my other boy, he live a street. He do a podcast. Him and his brother and shit do a podcast. They got their own thing, but if we were to link up and get some microphones and get a table and everybody eating, maybe on I don't know, every other Saturday or the second Wednesday of each month. You never know. That shit, you could hit the road with that, man. A lot of these brothers hitting the road and just talking this regular shit like relationships and shit like that. That's something I was looking at to expand with right now. But yeah, man, I'm always down for politics. Bushido boxing. Y'all go check out some Bushido boxing channel. Who you like, Tank or Farmer? Come on, man. Tank. Leop Sopsy, what's going on? Tank. Stanky Tanky. Stanky Tanky. Stanky Tanky. Stanky Tanky. I got this nigga Miles outside. Yeah, man. Hit my email, man. I should put something out for y'all, man, for everybody. Beans and cornbread, or you can do they got the little Punchline Comedy Club in Southfield. Somewhere you can sit down at, man. They got microphones, man, and I got a venue by my crib. It's not far, man. A little barbershop. He got another side to it and shit. Invite some people out. Charge them about $2 first time, $5, and then people start coming, and then you just move out. You can go live on Facebook, live on the gram, live on Facebook, all at once. That's something. Or you can record it and then post it up live. But a lot of niggas in Detroit don't know how to link up. They don't. Everybody gonna do this over here, do that over there. Or they don't want to be on time or some shit like that. Or they don't want to rehearse. You just can't throw no shit like that together and be like, okay, we gonna talk. You gotta form a rapport. You gotta, rehearse and shit like that. And by the time y'all get the feel out, then you can just throw shit out there. Y'all can just go on improv. Would you like to see Shields versus Nunes? No, I would not. I would not. That's too much weight. Too much weight difference, man. But for her, if Nunes wouldn't do it, then I would support it because Clarissa makes some money. That's in my opinion. But yeah, let me slide off, and I gotta hit the airport, pick the girls up, man. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Don't forget to check our sponsor out, The Hellblaze, thehellblaze.com. Promo code GoodFellow1Box get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, much, much more. Website, promo code in the description. Share the videos, man. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All that links in the description. Reach out to the email. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, and video request, share the videos. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow. Probably at the regular time. I think it'll be tomorrow, man. Um, but uh, but yeah, my email is always in the description. Email, Twitter is the quickest way to get in touch with me. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. In this shit, I'm gonna start going live on Facebook at the same time when I figure that shit out. And I just figured that shit out at the end of the day. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that shit crazy? That shit crazy. I just figured out how to do the Facebook shit live at the same. So tomorrow, y'all check out my channel. The link in the description on Facebook or my little thing. I'm gonna do that shit tomorrow. But y'all